Hello gardening fans, and welcome to somewhat of a unique day on the calendar. This is both the last day of summer and the first day of autumn. Yes, it's September 22nd, 2012, and the vernal equinox happened at 10:29 this morning. And so this is a perfect day to do the September garden video, because September, of course, marks the transition from summer to fall. And it's absolutely a gorgeous day today. It's more like the last day of summer than the first day of fall, because it's been warm and humid and nice. And over here in the chives, they look pretty much like they did last week or last month. But interestingly enough, you don't usually see these in September. You usually see those in May. But for some reason, one of them decided to bloom now. So that's interesting. The cabbages that were out here are now harvested and gone. All the broccoli has been pulled. And if you remember last month, we showed you this terribly eaten Brussels sprouts plants. I have since sprayed them, so you'll notice that on the very tops here, there are these nice new leaves coming in, and in contrast with the ones below that were just totally decimated by caterpillars. So hopefully these leaves will provide the nutrients to the Brussels sprouts that are forming, and we'll get a few. Yeah, the Bacillus thurin, I don't know how to pronounce it. We call it BT because we don't know how to pronounce it. Very good against caterpillars, and it's organic as well, so safe to use. These are the ground cherries, and you know, we were snacking on them last month, and then about 1 week into September, they just said, "Okay, we're done," and they all turned brown, and that was the end of it. And here's Frankie. He's probably still looking for ground cherries, maybe finding a few. He's also wearing this nice fall scarfie handmade by my sister Mary. And Jessie's over there working on an excavation project. She's got hers on as well. Oh no, here she comes. She's coming to see what's going on. Hi, Jessie. Her scarfie's turned around a little bit, and she's already got it all muddy because she's been digging. But it still looks very fashionable, right, Jessie? Very good. All the bush beans are also done for. That's where they used to be. And getting this time of year, we start talking more and more about where things used to be rather than where they are. Pole beans are slowing down as well, but we're still getting some. That's a nice collection of rattlesnake beans. Here's a kind of anemic looking yard long, and a few more rattlesnakes. They've been coming in strong all season for the most part. Here's one that's a little too big, but still plenty to pick, and that's one of the reasons I like pole beans. They just sort of keep going. Lima beans, I don't know if I can find any. We'll take a quick look here. Yeah, there's a couple right in there, and like I said last month, you kind of wait for them to sort of turn leathery and yellow, and then that's perfect eating in my opinion. Meanwhile, sweet potatoes, everybody is crawling around in there looking for things. These won't get harvested probably till next month when we get close to the first frost, and there's no way of knowing what's under there until we dig them up, so we'll just hope for the best. Meanwhile, on to bed 2, okra. There's an okra pod that's been left on the vine, so to speak, way too long. That one might still be okay. They are slowing down as well, and when the weather does actually turn cool, they will pretty much stop altogether because they don't like cold weather. This used to be zucchini. Not much left of that. Also, our yellow zucchini, not much left of that either, but we still have scallop squash. That one's a little bigger than it should be, which has been just producing great all season long. Here's another one. We'll pull both of those tonight. And it looks like they're going to go pretty well up until the first frost. This is where the peas used to be, just marigolds now. Beets and lettuce and carrots all used to be there. We got them pulled earlier this month. And so like I say, things are slowing down in the garden, except for the marigolds, which are still going strong. This is where the onions used to be, and we did those videos last time around. This is where the potatoes used to be, and we did that video last time around as well. And tomatoes, very nice season, but as you can see, they are on their last legs. Still got a few coming in here that are okay and harvestable and edible. But as you can tell by the brown vines, they're really pretty much done for, all three varieties. So a very fine tomato season, and as evidenced by all those on the ground, we weren't able to really quite keep up with them, but we did take advantage of quite a few. Meanwhile, these are peppers right next door to the tomatoes. They're still doing pretty well. These are shishito, and right next to them are Melrose, those bright crimson, thin-walled, smaller peppers. Very nice though for stir-frying, like I've said before. Tequila Sunrise peppers still coming in, still turning that nice orangey, sunrisey color. And we also have a few orange bells, but they're not producing much anymore. Those, although they look orange, those are actually eggplants. And I mentioned last time, I'm not sure why these guys are not turning that deep purple anymore, but otherwise they look like they'll be okay. So it looks like they're going to go up until the first frost. We pulled the rest of the leeks. We've made another batch of potato leek soup. I might just cook up the rest of the leeks and freeze them to have them ready for another batch of potato leek soup. I left a couple of them in here that were very small, just to see if they might mature and we might get anything out of them. Meanwhile, what was supposed to be the clover bed, but just turned out to be a bed of weeds with a little clover mixed in. I finally mowed it all down and mulched it, so we've put that bed to bed, so to speak. And Frankie thinks he's found something interesting. He's a mighty insect hunter. He also loves to run after bunnies and all forms of rodents, but it looks like he might be into something a little smaller there. Meanwhile, our sunflowers, they're starting to all fall over, and you know, they're past their prime, but we really have some very fine specimens here. You can see from the size of my hand how big that guy is, and we've cut some off and laid them out. I think there were rodents getting them more than birds, so I put them in a different location that I think is more bird opportunistic than rodent opportunistic. And a couple of these I'll cut off and you know, take the heads inside to dry and save the seeds and try planting them next year, see if they do okay. Meanwhile, next door, the last bed here in the garden proper is corn. The corn is, this is eating corn. Corn is all done for except for the occasional what I call dog ear, because the dogs like them, even if they're not prime person eating ears. And that's all that's left. There's one right there that they would absolutely love, and I'll probably give it to them later today. But now we're just waiting for these to dry a little bit further, and then we'll cut them down and use them for fall decor. And Jesse's always interested when we're near the the corn patch, because that's one of her favorite delicacies. Although there's only a few more left for this season. And so September will probably be the last month we have the joy of dachshunds eating corn in the garden. But they've had plenty this season, and it's been a good year for corn. Speaking of which, let's head out to the exterior of the garden, the corn patch out there, and also with volunteer pumpkins, which I have quite a few of. So let's go out and take a look at that, and then we'll come right back and wrap things up. Alright, if you remember last month we talked about these, which are not pumpkins, and they're not winter squash, but I'm pretty sure a mixture of a cross between pumpkins and Waltham butternut, just judging from the color of them more than anything else. And you never know when they crossbreed like that. Sometimes they taste okay, sometimes they taste really weird. They don't taste like a combination, they just taste bitter. So we'll have to see. But there you can see a pumpkin, bright orange, pretty close to ready. There's another one that's still greenish, and you can see that the popcorn stalks are well done for, all brown, so we're ready to kind of cut those down for fall decor. But I can't tell you how many pumpkins are out here, or pumpkin winter squash hybrids, or you know, crosses, but they're just all over the place. You can see these flashes of orange around. Some of them are fully orange and close to being ready to be picked. Some of them are still turning, but they're all over the place, and they're growing inside the where the corn stalks are too. Sort of, you know, traditionally you think of corn stalks and pumpkins sort of stacked together in the fall, and that's certainly the way these have grown in. But I'm, you know, guessing we've got you know, a couple dozen pumpkins scattered about here. And remember, I wasn't planning to grow any pumpkins. These are all volunteers that came up. But as I pull back here, you can see that the corn stalks are definitely done for the season. We'll cut them down for decor, like I said. We've got pumpkins hanging off the fences here too, and no really big ones, but they'll be fine for, you know, a display for the season. So as I get back to the garden here, I've got a couple of videos of the popcorn and the Indian corn, so let me show you those right now, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, we are a little over 1 week into September, and as you might gather from the looks of all those husks on the ground, we have harvested our popcorn. That's about 100 ears, and they started pretty much falling over and even falling out of the husks in some cases, and that's how I figured they must be ready to be picked. And we've got, like I say, about 100 ears there, and this is a really fine example. The kernels themselves are very hard, but from what I have read, they still need to be cured, another maybe month, 4 weeks or something like that, before they'll be in prime popping condition. So we're going to put them in a mesh bag and just hang them somewhere in a dry spot inside, and test them every so often to see if the kernels are ready for popping. And if so, we'll probably take them off the cobs and put them in plastic bags and ready to enjoy a boatload of popcorn. Hopefully it'll work. And shortly after popcorn comes Indian corn. This was pulled today, about 24 ears, but the thing that's really neat that I didn't expect is that each one of these ears of corn is completely different. A completely different color theme, a wide variety of colors, from all cranberry like that one in the center right there to blue and yellow and off-white and all kinds of combinations. Just I really wasn't expecting that much variety. They're really great and well in time for fall decor, so that'll be fun. So that's the popcorn and the Indian corn, and I said put the popcorn in a mesh bag. Well, this is how it turned out. It's about 4 mesh bags, about 30 pounds of popcorn, and it's hanging here in the garage until it's ready. I've done a couple of tests. I had one ear that popped almost completely, and they were pretty good kernels. You know, nice popcorn, tastes good too. Then I had another one that I tried after that, but they didn't pop very well, and that means that they're still too damp. So we'll keep hanging them in the garage there until we get consistent popping results. But that's fun nonetheless. So it's starting to get dark almost. You can't tell from the video. So we fired up the torches behind me there, and we are officially into fall. Like I said, started at 10:29 this morning. Today was a summery day. Tomorrow is supposed to be a little more like fall, a little crisper. But it'll be a nice day to be out on the mower and such. So that's going to do it for us. Marvin Gardens 2012. The first day of fall and the last day of summer. And so welcome to fall, y'all. We'll see you next month in October. Bye. Good, huh?